All right, we're live. All of a sudden in Daniel's penthouse.
Welcome to my living room, the top floor of
Top floor.
downtown
yeah.
Tampa, Florida.
Exactly. If you know about this, I mean, everyone just thought you kind of just like live in a cave and you write emails, but hey, not a bad place. You did okay.
Yeah, for context, this isn't actually my living room. Just want to make sure everyone aware of that. But I'll just buy the whole building to compensate for it in a couple
Exactly. Yeah, it's really so simple.
years. So fucking simple.
So now we have the weekly cookouts, which I'm really excited about. This was our first, first it was limited to the Tampa boys, but now we got some of the Miami crew, some maxing on the balcony. It's a pretty good thing. When are we having a client Ascension cookout with everyone? Just like whole balcony, we just flood the building.
So obviously you came to the last Client Ascension event, and I very quickly learned that if you have an event with somewhere around 100 or more people, it's the biggest pain in the ass of all time. And it costs to rent out the Marriott and do all this stuff, and I think it ended up costing like $48,000 or something like that. And we weren't charging a lot of money for the tickets, but it was like the dumbest shit they would do, bro. They charged us like $3,000 for the water, like literally $3,000 of the Voss water bottles. Like, bro, are you kidding me? They forgot some stools and then like put on the bill like an upcharge for the stool, almost to the point where I've kind of sat here and just like, dude, would it not make like literally financial sense to buy like a $2 million house in St. Pete, Florida, and just hold masterminds there? Like from a totally financial perspective, if I were to have like 3-4 Client Ascension events a year, I was like, that would be an actual savings of like almost $250,000. So it's like, I know for a fact the mortgage payment isn't $250,000 on the house. So it's like, that's like one of those unique situations where it's like, you could actually end up producing more money for the holding of an asset like that.
Yeah, no, I like the mansion idea. We had we had some brainstorming about it. I was like, when's the next event? He's like, well, we're not doing it at the Marriott because of all the headaches we went through last time. And we're not doing it in my penthouse / living room / apartment. So why not just get a ranch? It's Montana, St. Pete, wherever. Just throw it there. It just like makes sense. What do you see that looking like? I know you mentioned like you want to keep it small, but you have other thoughts. You want to make it this like mass thing. Like what's your vision for the next Client Ascension event?
So as you scale farther and farther, you start to really look and you look at the other people. It's like, all right, the guys who are doing $3 million a month, like how specifically are their offers structured? And it's always like it's always going to kind of come into 3 different business segments, right? So for instance, like Cole Gordon does this thing where he'll train people to be either closers or appointment setters. And then he has a business segment where he will place those closers or appointment setters inside another person's business. So that's a B2B segment. And then there's a secondary B2B segment, which is a mastermind that has 4 in-person events per year. And I think it's around like $68,000 a year or something like that. So that logistically makes sense for Client Ascension to do the same thing because we're tangentially related to kind of what he sells. He does appointment setting and like sales and stuff. We do cold email. We do like cold outbound prospecting. So, okay, I can go whip up a B2C side, train people how to be commission-only cold emailers, augment Client Ascension offer as it currently exists right now, add on the placement of commission-only appointment setters, and as people elapse through Client Ascension, they get results, then they'll probably ascend to a mastermind and arise into a situation where it's like, yeah, we're going to have 4 mastermind meetups a year, and one of them is going to be at my $3 million St. Pete mansion. So that's how I see this elapsing and how this goes. So it's like, in terms of events, like if we were going to do another one, I'm just going to charge a lot of money because it's a pain. It's a pain. It's not fun to plan that. Like, it really just isn't. So it's like, if I'm going to do that again, then I'm going to make sure I'm financially compensated in relation to how much of a pain it is.
Yeah, it's like you always say, higher ticket clients, you just naturally get them better results.
It's so simple.
What has been the biggest challenge with you? Client Ascension, it's just the community has just exploded, I think, ever since the event, and just in general, it's been an upward trajectory. What's been the biggest challenge scaling that while also maintaining client results? Because you've emphasized the idea of clean scale you want to grow it, but you don't want to do it at the expense of people feeling like they're not getting the attention they deserve. Like, what's been the biggest challenge with doing that?
Yeah, we don't have a problem getting people results ever. We have a problem trying to get people to execute the things we're telling them to do. So everything that currently exists in all efforts, literally 100% of all labor power inside of Client Ascension is trying to get people to just execute the things we are telling them to do. So it's like now we've got like customer success managers, and then sourcing the customer success managers was really difficult because you have to be like, you got to kind of understand what's going on like in this industry while like simultaneously doing this full-time job, like understanding what's going on here. So that was really difficult, but Andre was leading the thing on that. So now we got 3 of those. That just makes life tremendously more easy. But it's like this literally always happens, dude. Like there is no situation where someone comes into Client Ascension, does exactly what we not only tell them to do, but give them. We literally make all their 3,000 prospect list of cold emails. We write the scripts for them. We give them the software to do it. And even then, after you've paid to be in Client Ascension and you have been on a silver platter handed all of these assets that some percent of people quite literally still will not execute the thing. And it's a testament that kind of goes back to like the concept of low quality client versus high quality client. All of the clients who are not on payment plans always 100% of time execute everything precisely as it is given to them. Always. The only people who ever lag, well, this and this and this, and we're going to do this, and like, well, what about this? And they're asking just like questions that just don't matter. It's always someone who's on a payment plan every single time. And then I've been asked questions sometimes, dude, you could probably get so many more conversions if you like allowed people to like finance this and had some kind of like financing program where they can pay like over the course of 36 months and use like a credit company. It was like, no, you don't understand. I don't want people who don't have money in the first place. I don't want you inside at all. And that's a concept that people really need to understand. It's like, oh, you could just make people do payments. No, like you suck. Like you're not a good client. I don't want you.
It's like if your Client Ascension subscription is the equivalent of a mortgage, you shouldn't be in the program. That's what it sounds like. I mean, I think that's a good philosophy in general because you look at like even the energy of the group, right? I'm in Client Ascension, little testimonial here. When you go on these calls, there's personalized attention, and not only are you interacting with the coaches of the people on there, but you're interacting with the other students within the group, right? And if you allow these people to come in and they're asking these questions on the call and saying all these stuff that just like doesn't make sense, it's like that slows other people down because they're on these calls. They have actual questions related to like, you know, they're getting, I don't know, they're following up with someone on an email. They need help with this specific problem. Then you got this other person asking, well, cold email's pretty saturated. Like, are you sure that works? Are you sure I should post content? It's like, bro, like, why? Why are you here?
Yeah, I mean, like you could say, like, the energy drink market is saturated. Like, I'm drinking a Red Bull. Everything's saturated for people who don't know what they're doing. Like, literally everything. So it's like you can come up with some, like, I don't care if you have all the money in the world. If you're an unsophisticated owner, like you just don't have any concept of how to run anything, I still don't want you in here. It's just like exactly like what you were saying. They're going to get on calls, they're going to say dumb stuff, and it's like too difficult to help them work. And the problem with a lot of these guys, maybe they run some program that's kind of similar to Client Ascension, or they run any program of any kind whatsoever. They're more interested in acquiring clients than they are with maximizing the LTV of clients. I have one job and one sole job only. I want to get a client into Client Ascension, and I never want them to leave ever. I am optimizing for people with a high LTV solely because, one, I don't want to deal with you if you're like a small, like you just don't know anything, like you're just like annoying. And it's like you get on like a call for Client Ascension, it's like this is like literally like we're like trying to find a culture fit. Like if we don't like you, I don't care. Like if we just don't like you, you're not allowed in. Doesn't matter if you have the money, doesn't matter if you want to join it. If you're just like not, if you're not a good person or you're just like annoying, like you just can't get in. Like it's these are small things that optimize the company, because it's like I have a whole community that's going to be exposed to you. And if like people don't like you, then you're just gonna like taint the whole thing, and it's just not gonna be good anymore. So you have to be extremely protective over like what's happening. You have to like really think 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of things. And a lot of guys are just trying to sign as many people and get as much front end revenue as conceivably possible with absolutely no attention to the back end of any kind. And it's like, bro, 50% of people with client Ascension, when they finish the first 6 months, renew. Like half of them, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
That is absurdly high. It's like the average person of clients, it's only been like a year and a half or around there, but it's like so many people have like they stay for a year or more. Like this, you need to optimize for clients who stay with you for a long time. Even like you do my shorts.
Right.
Like you literally edit my stuff, and like I don't know how long we've been working together now, for like 7 months
October.
or
like 4 or 5.
Yeah, something like that. And it's like I'm probably gonna be your client for a long time. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's huge. I think especially with done with you, that's really, really important. I think that's a niche that we're seeing pop up more and more. And we talked about this too, like literally before the podcast. It's like people, there's two things about this I want to mention. So number one, with done with you clients, whether that be coaching or like more, me and Cam, obviously we shoot with clients, we help them like with videos and all that stuff. It's like, we're working with you and we're communicating with you on a daily basis. If you're going to be a pain in the ass, it doesn't matter how much extra revenue that's going to bring for the cost of the headaches. You know what I mean? It's like risk reward. It's like, yeah, like we make another whatever per month, but you're just going to drag us down, and that spills over into our other work for other clients, and it drains our energy. So like we're not going to work with you if we can't have lunch with you. And another side segment I want you to touch upon with the done with you and people just being stubborn and as well. And you'll have students, I bet, where you'll tell them like, yo, be flexible with your offer. Everyone has different needs. This person may want to handle this step of the process. You have to respect that and not step on their toes. Like talk to me about that. Like, why are people so stubborn about adjusting their offer accordingly to client needs?
So yeah, I was explaining this last week actually, and it was because like we were talking about like guarantees, or like people saying like, well, like I was on a call here and the client said they wanted this, but like that's not a part of my offer. And then I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, like, do you know how to do that? And he's like, yeah. Like, then why didn't you just sell it to them? He's like, well, it's not a part of my offer. I'm like, your offer is not some like cut in stone thing and there's absolutely zero wiggle room. And it's like, what you guys need to understand is that you don't just like spin something up and it's like that's all you get. You're not a SaaS company. You're a service company. Like it's like every sales process is dirty. Like every sales call is dirty. It's never gonna like. There's no deal where it's I'm only gonna do it like this. If you want to change it like that, I'm not working with you. And it's like this is what's wrong with these guys. Is they don't have any kind of conception of like wiggle room. And as like an example, say someone, I don't know, say you run like you run a TikTok ads agency, and like you'll make UGC ads for people, and then you'll run the ads for them, and then like you're talking to a client and they're basically saying, yeah, we already have a media buyer. We're kind of just looking for the ads. And then dudes will literally go like, oh, well, I do the media buying. Sorry. Like not even understanding the fact that they could just segment out the part where they get the ads and like actually effectively charge the same amount of money. And like there's no because what guys do with these offers is they take a high income skill and try to fit it into a niche and like force it onto a niche, as opposed to like speaking to a niche and extracting specifically what they're asking for. So it's like dudes they'll start with a niche and try to force a high income skill onto the niche.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like,
oh my God.
Yeah. So like what'll happen is dudes will pick like e-com as an example. They're like, oh, well, what can I sell e-com stores? Like, oh, well, they do Facebook ads. I'll go sell Facebook ads, unaware of the fact that that's quite literally the most saturated offer to the most saturated market of all time. But what they don't understand, and if they just pay attention to what people are saying on the call, is you start to extract things like, for instance, what is absolutely ripping right now is creating UGC ads for e-com brands. That's what they're buying. And it's like, you can't just come up here and just like come up with some random thing. It's like you have to sell what people want in the way that they want it. So it's kind of like Like I'll give you an example of like Scott Millard. So like Scott, he's like a video guy, and like you guys are familiar with him a lot. He's a homie, and he lives here in Tampa too. But he was when he first joined Client Ascension, he was selling this unlimited video packages. He does like animated like SaaS explainer videos and stuff. It's an unlimited video package, $5,000 per month. You get unlimited requests, and I was like, Scott, nobody wants an unlimited video subscription. They don't. They just want a specific amount of videos. Like they just do. So he changed his offer to that, and now like dude just hit $40K a month. He was literally making like $5,000 a month like 6 months ago. And it's like sometimes it's that simple. And it's like just you have to know what people like, you have to pay attention and just like go through those dirty sales processes, like I was saying, and like what specifically do you want? And then what you'll find is like people start asking for the same thing and they want it in the same way. So oh, I'll just morph the offer into that. And then things evolve over time. And this is why you see people, they have products and it always turns into like a 2.0 and then like a 3.0 because like they're evolving it, and that's like the correct thing that you should do.
Yeah, market sophisticate. We've had to adjust with our agency, right? Because you saw everything. Sir, I will make you 60 videos per month with just zero. It's changing, bro. It went from 2 hours. We joke. It's like it went from 2 hours of your time to 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that's funny because I made that angle like 3 months ago. And it's like all these dudes on Twitter. I actually wrote an email about this. It was really interesting. And basically the gist of what I was explaining in the email was that what you guys are trying to do is you have like no industry secrets. You have no concept of how to get people results, and you have no client results in the first place. So what you do is you rely on vague value propositions that include the mechanism. And in this case, the mechanism is short form content as a service. I'll do short form content with just 2 hours of your time. I literally made that. And then what happens over time is you get results for clients and you do things over and over and over again, and now you uncover secrets. Like you uncover like how to get results for specific things. So you morph from selling a mechanism into selling a system that just so happens to use a mechanism.
Okay.
And this is what I was explaining. Like these guys, what they'll do, it's like, oh, I'll just do this with Google Ads. It's like, no, like you need a system. You need to create like a unique way you do something, and like you uncover secrets and you find out that there's context in everything. Like for instance, with the short form, it's like if you've ever done any kind of short form at all, ever, like you've probably learned it's slightly difficult to turn short form into conversions. So you need to augment this by having a video sales letter on your landing page. You need to know how to do DM sales. You need to have long form content. Right. Like you ultimately need to put every piece of the funnel inside the offer. It's like that's literally how expansion happens. You always arise to you having to do more to serve the client needs. There's always an upsell. It will never end. There's always another thing to sell somebody.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think especially with the short form service, like you saw so many people, it's just like the offer keeps sophisticating, right? It's like, first it was like repurposing, right? And that was a big thing. Like, oh, I'll make clips for you, right? But then other people started filming with people and you started targeting other people that didn't have existing video content, right? Because most of the people who already had long form, they had a shorts guy. So it's like, oh, let me go like try to target people that don't have it, right? And then you had this wave, right, of the 60 pieces of content per month with 2 hours of your time. And it's like now there's going to be another layer of sophistication to that. But the big thing is, and you talk about this, and I think it's important to reiterate, is like 90% of people won't even stick to one thing for 6 months. So it's like, if you can just actually do the thing well for 6 months, everyone gets weeded out and they move on to the next thing, right? The next thing, whatever that may be, what looks like in a year from now. Yeah.
So the reason why things take 6 months to work is because people only buy stuff from you if you have results. You only get a lot of sales if you have a lot of results. Like you incrementally get more and more sales the more and more results you have. So what people need to understand is that everything will take 6 months, and the reason why is because you need 6 months to acquire results in the first place, and to acquire results, you need to become competent in the thing in the first place. So that's why there is this lag. That is the sole and only reason why it takes long for things to work, is because you need to get the results. And then what happens is, I'll get some guys who come into Client Ascension. They have like a lot of customers. Like they're a big business, and they've been in business, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And there's like no testimonials, no results, no social proof of any kind on the business. And I'll tell them, I'm like, how many customers do you have? It's like, oh, like we've worked with 642 people. And I'm like, yo, that's a lot. I'm like, do you get them really good results? It's like, yeah, like this guy went from selling his products in his garage and then he started working with us, and he's been our client for 2 years, and then now he has 4 warehouses, does $30,000 a day. Like he lives in a mansion now, and he has a bunch of kids, and they go to private school, and like he goes on vacations all the time now. And I'm like, why is that not on your landing page? Like, why is this not on video? Look, because what I'm trying to explain to them is you got such good results here, but unless you put it on the landing page, it might as well not even exist. It didn't happen unless it's on the landing page. You did not get any results unless they are clearly and vividly displayed on the internet. And this is what people don't understand. Every single service, marketing agency, B2B business, coaching course, software, absolutely any kind of B2B thing of any kind ever, you grow the business by looping testimonials and client results. That's it. Your sole and only function as a business owner is the production of case studies and then the displaying of those case studies, pushing traffic to those case studies, which begets more customers, which begets more case studies, and it is an upward spiral loop. Always. It's your only job.
Yeah, 100%. And one thing that I took away from there was, it's like, dude, I actually thought of this analogy. I was riding bikes at like 2 in the morning. And I was like, I'm putting this on my notes for a later tweet. And I guess it'll be here on video before I put it in a tweet format. But I almost viewed it as like, it's like a girl that wears like super baggy clothes to school, or like even a guy, it doesn't really matter. But like they wear baggy clothes, they're wearing sweatpants, they're like greasy, they didn't shower, right? They're not looking good, they're not looking spiffy. And maybe they have like a great physique or a great body, but it's just like, bro, like you're wearing a hoodie and sweatpants. Like no one can even see that.
Yep.
And you expect them to know.
Yeah.
You expect them to know that you're this great looking guy or girl. It's just like, no one, you're not even showcasing it. So like that's a really good point right there. And I actually want to keep touching on this because I think it's a really good topic that a lot of people like look for, is like you almost have to be ahead of the market, right? It's a game of cat and mouse. Like you'll spin something up. Like I put out a thread today about like our process and like how we nurture client relationships and what that process looks like. I bet there's some fucking dude that's about to put that on his landing page right now, bar for bar.
Yeah. So what happens is a lot of guys get caught up in like market sophistication, but so it's from Eugene Schwartz. Yeah, Eugene Schwartz. And at the highest level of sophistication, people only buy the thing because of the results you have driven and your personal brand. That's at the highest level. So, like, the most people are in the market. Imagine the most saturated service all selling to the same exact market. Like, it's the most saturated thing of all time. Imagine it. Somebody's still making money.
Right.
And the person who's making the money is the person who has the best client results. So what happens is you can take any service, any market, anything, and you can just single-handedly sophisticate the whole thing right to the end. You just go right to the end where it's just results. And this is what you need to do. And this is what I've always done with every single thing. And it was not even I wasn't even aware of this until like back reading Eugene Schwartz's stuff. And I'm like, oh, in hindsight, like the reason why I spun up a cold email course, sold it to 6,000 people and made $1 million from a course, and then made a bunch of software apps, and then made Client Ascension, and I've made like $7 million doing it, is solely only because I just got a ton of testimonials. There is no other reason why that happened. There's no single other reason why that happened. And it's like, someone could say, like, even if somebody had like a product that was incrementally better than mine, it's like, It doesn't matter. I have more testimonials, so I'm going to make more money than you. Nothing. The person who wins has the most client results and testimonials. That's it. Like there's no wiggle room. There's no like, well, what about this? No. Whoever has the most results wins. That's it. Like your conversion rate goes up, your call close rate goes up, your click-through rate goes up, your opt-in percent goes up. Like everything, every single metric improves with every single new client testimonial or case study you add. It's just stacking credibility continuously over and over and over again. There's no other trick, but like there's no like special hack to like make the business work better. It's like at the end, it's all gonna be sophisticated. You're just gonna get more and more and more competitors. You're never gonna have less competitors. So you need to single-handedly like push everyone else out of the market and just take all the customers because you have all of the results. That's the only way it works.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think people obsess over like, they just think, oh, like if I copy this and maybe I say, this is another thing I really liked. You put out a YouTube video about this, about the DM scripts. And this has been a really, really hot topic lately, DM scripts. And your whole argument is it's not really about what you say. It's literally just bringing them from the DM to your profile, to your landing page, and being congruent. I want you to rant about that and explain what people fail to grasp, because writing a Shakespeare poem and then pitching short form is not the reason they're buying your short form.
Yeah, so the reason why maybe you send 1,000 DMs and you get one customer, like the actual reason why that you didn't like sign 50 people is because everybody has a conversion window and nobody just wants to do short form right now. Like every human on the planet doesn't want to just do it right now. Like that's not a thing. So what happens is you send a DM, and now I have 114,000 followers. And now people would say, no, people with a lot of followers don't check their DMs. Bullshit. I check my DMs. Like everyone checks their DMs. Any person with any amount of followers, they go to the request. If they say they don't, they're lying. Like they just are. Everyone sees every single DM. And now what you do is you check the DM and you go to their profile. Like maybe, like you'll kind of get a snippet of what it says, then you go to the profile. If your profile is sports, you're retweeting football or like me or just random stuff that is not congruent to business of like any kind, and it's like, all right, well, just like automatic no. It's like your stuff just doesn't have anything to do with this. Now say your profile is about business. You got some tweets like actually like about this sphere. Then your landing page will get clicked. If you don't have a landing page, automatic no, not happening. Yeah. Like you didn't even put in the time to make a landing page, not happening. So if you do have one, it gets clicked. Do you have a video sales letter? Nope, gone. But you didn't even put enough effort into to do that. All right, maybe you do have a video sales letter. Do you have client results? No? Okay, you don't have client results. Do you at minimum have examples of what you would do? No? Gone. Not even going to consider you in any capacity. Every time I've ever bought something from somebody who was a beginner or has no other client results, this literally happened to me like 2 weeks ago. Well, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I got pitched about, hey, bro, like if you like make your VSO like a lot more edited, it's gonna like work out a lot better. And what he did is he didn't just say that. He took a minute clip from my VSL and then like hyper edited it. And I was watching, I'm like, yo, this is really good. But now my context of this, and this goes back into like the positioning of his offer. I'll explain what I was thinking. My thinking of this is like, well, I don't want to have to pay this guy to hyper edit this VSL because I might make a new VSL, right? So now, like a couple weeks later at this point, I was trying to, I wanted more YouTube ads. Sure. And I'm like, I'm going to try out this, like, I want some, like, hyper-edited stuff. I'm like, oh, that one guy. Yeah. That one guy who sent me that was, like, really good. And I forgot his name. And I didn't follow him. So I went in the messages. I was just scrolling in my DMs. I was looking for it for, like, 10 minutes. And I found it. I was like, hey, can you edit me YouTube videos? Like, I want I want to do this, I want this many, like how much will it cost? He gives me a price, and I just pay it. So this is an example of this guy didn't have any client results.
Sure.
I don't think he's worked with anyone, but he at minimum put in the bare minimum effort to show me what he would do. This is what I'm saying. It's like guys try to prospect for clients and they don't even do the bare minimum. So now at this point, like I'm probably gonna end up paying this guy like over the course of like, I don't know, a year, maybe like 10K, 20K, literally just like editing videos and stuff, just like random editing stuff like this. And then the other thing I want to explain is that his original positioning of the offer was just the wrong thing. That's a valid objection. Hey, I'll edit your VSL. It's like, well, people like kind of change their VSL a lot. So it's just a different positioning. So now he could still sell like editing the VSL, but now you can hit other angles for someone. Like if you were prospecting someone and say he was leading with the, hey, I'll edit your VSL offer, you don't get responses, and then you can do up with them. Hey, I also do YouTube ads. Here's an example. And now he's like posting tweets of like the examples of the YouTube ads he made. I'm like, yeah, like really, he asked me for a testimonial. I was like, yeah, like good job. Like you're clearly listening to the stuff I say. And I'm like, now like, when I give this guy a testimonial and like I retweet it, now he's like posting videos of me, hey, I made this, and it's like I work with Daniel Fazio and Client Ascension, and I retweet that on Twitter. This guy's gonna get a shit ton of business.
Yeah.
Like you literally just will, because he asked for the testimonial. It wasn't just like he just made the thing and like went dark. It's like he's proactively trying to build this company. He's putting a lot of effort, and like the dude like. When I was working with him and he was like explaining why he was making specific edits, it wasn't just like edited for no reason. Like he was explaining to me, hey, I want to put this here because this will happen, this happen. Could you like do this real quick, film me this 5-second thing so I'd inject it here. I think it's going to work a lot better. I'm like, all right, bro. And it was like, very clear to me that he was proactive and very much attempting to make sure that I'm getting a quantifiable positive return on the money I paid him. So it's like dudes they'll run a business and they just like, it's like they don't even care. It's like you don't even care. And that's why you don't make much.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good way to overcome first movers advantage. Like if you're not in that situation and you're coming late to a market, like you really need to go out of your way to do stuff like that. I'll give you a great example. This actually happened to me recently. So there's this guy that's been in my DMs trying to pitch me on my landing page, a few actually. And mine's dog shit. I have to fix that. My boy here is going to help me with it. But he like explained like the things he would change. First of all, right? So he broke it down for me. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Whatever. My website's pretty bad. Pitching his price, I'll be like, whatever. Like I have to see like how this works out with this other guy that's trying to help me. And I go on my Twitter and he tags me in this thing. It's like, here's what I do for the clip creators landing page. And he posted like 2 different shots of him. I was like, this actually looks pretty good. And so I might work with him, but like even that extra mile, like I'm sure he's signed plenty of people doing stuff like that. And it's a warm lead specifically, which is really smart, right? It's not just somebody who's not going to buy his service. It's people that express interest. And then maybe they lost him in the DMs, and it's just like, hey, bro, it's a creative way to follow up and just be like, sir, it's not like, sir, like, please, let me edit your landing page. Dude, it's like a very proactive way to do it, and it's providing value, and it's saying, like, I actually want to work with you, right?
It's all these dudes who they want to use the new auto Twitter DM software. They want to roll up a thing and like magically get clients. Those guys never win. They never ever win. Like you just want everything to be so easy. You don't want to work at all. You want to no manual process. Everything needs to be automated. Like it's like dudes they're like legit trying to like automate a system that doesn't even work. It's like you're just employing automation everywhere, and it's like it doesn't even work. Like what you are doing just doesn't work. Like why are you trying to automate everything?
Yeah, and that's huge. I think especially like when you're coming from that place of like, I don't have anything to offer you, and you expect to use automation or some specific line is going to save, like, no, it doesn't work. I mean, when I started, pitching short form to people when it was like not as sophisticated, saturated, whatever you want to call it, like I would make an effort to send samples. I feel like that's a bare minimum now with that kind of service or things in general. And one question I have for you is, like, regardless of what that service is, like, I don't know, maybe it's like email marketing for e-com brands, which is also hella saturated, or something else that, you definitely don't have first movers advantage to. Like, how can someone in that position sign clients and catch up to people that are already crushing it when they don't have the results and testimonials? Do they really just have to go out of their way to do free work? Is that the solution? Or
In the beginning, yeah. So like the difficulty of how hard it is to sign a client decreases with every case study or testimonial you get. Every single one you get, it gets easier and easier and easier. Because you have to think of it like this, and this is what people don't understand, is it hurts to lose $100 more than it feels good to gain $100. So when you're marketing, 70 to 80% or more of your material needs to be about risk mitigation. You need to be explaining, and the things you put as marketing material needs to, in the eyes of the prospect, decrease the probability that they're going to lose money. So there's two ways to do this. One is by guarantee. You have a guarantee. If I don't get the specific result, you don't pay. And second is by perception. And by perception, what I mean is testimonials or case studies. And now there's a ladder of which of these work best. What works best is if the client is on video and it's very clear, you know what their business is, like it's linked, it's them, it's their face, their full name, it's very transparent, and they specifically state how much money they made or result they got and directly attribute it to you, so there is no way someone can say, oh, that's faked. Right? On the internet, you are default a scammer until proven otherwise. Every company, every offer, people are getting pitched, they're getting cold emailed over here. Like, dudes are literally sending cold emails from a Gmail, no website. Their name, Google, doesn't even bring, like, raw dogging, like, precisely absolute nothing. Like, nothing. And they think it's going to work. Or they're doing the same on their DMs. There's no website, no nothing. There's no transparency. Nothing exists. Like, and they really actually think that's going to work. It's almost as if, I don't even know how you would ever arise into the situation where you would think that there would be any chance that could possibly work ever. Like, how would you even think that would? Like,
let me just, like, this random guy emailed me. Let me just, like book a call with him and send him $5,000, even though he doesn't have a website. But like, okay, I'll take a chance on him. I'm like, we're doing like $6,000 a month. I'll definitely pay him $5,000 to try to save the business.
It's really incredible to me, and you know it doesn't take a genius to understand this, and I kind of want to relate this back to like when I was like a super beginner. Like, I mean, this is my first business. It was like the Instagram growth agency. I was not good at marketing, but I just wasn't a dumbass, right? So, like, let me explain to you what I did. I found 5 people, and I said, it was just basic. Like, oh, if I want to get people to pay me money, they probably want to see that I actually know how to do it. So I'm gonna go find 5 people. I'm gonna do it for them for free, and then I'm gonna get them results. So that's what I did. I found 5 people, and I did their Instagram growth for 3 months. I got a before and after screenshot. And then right when I had the before and after screenshots, I started asking people for money. And it was, this plan, I'm going to get you between 300 and 500 followers a month. And if it doesn't work, you don't pay. And this one between 500 to 1,000 followers a month. And if it doesn't work, you don't pay. And this was like, the reason why I did that was because I didn't want to arise into a situation where, like, if I didn't get the result, they like wouldn't get their money back, because I just didn't want people like going on the internet like calling me a scammer.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It was just like, all right, well, if I can't get the result, I'll just refund you. And now in hindsight, now that I think about it, like, I had client results and a guarantee, and I got when I started like asking people for money for it, I got it to $12K a month. As like I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
It was like $12K a month in 3 months. And I was like, now that I look back at it, I'm like, no fucking shit. Like, yeah, of course you did. Like, it was a good offer with a money back guarantee and proof. Like, no shit. Like, yeah. And it's like, now what dudes would do is they think like, oh, that won't work for me. I'm like, dude, that's the only thing that works. Like, nothing else works. It's like really hilarious to me, where it's like people will be like, well, why am I? well, how can I get more clients? I'm like, well, get more results. Or like put a guarantee. And they're like, well, I don't have any results and I don't have a guarantee. I'm like,
just want clients, bro.
well, you're fucked. Like, good luck.
God.
Like, good luck. There's nothing else to do. It's those two. Like, there's no other thing. It's so funny to me.
Yeah, it blows my mind, and especially with the part about, and this is interesting too with the guarantee. I also think we've arrived, and certain people are like this, where you'll throw on a guarantee and they'll be like, I don't want a guarantee, I just want results. Like some people, you know what I mean? Because it's like why would you sit? Some people are just like that, where it's just like, why would I waste 2 or 3 months with you? I don't care if you give me any guarantee. Like, why would I waste my time 2 to 3 months with somebody that I know isn't going to get results? Like the guarantee alone, I don't think cuts it. And with certain personality types, it's like,
Yep.
I don't want guarantees. I just want you to do the thing you promised.
Yeah, so quantifiable case studies and client testimonials, a very large amount of them is by an order of magnitude way stronger than a guarantee. If you had to only pick one, you'd pick the results.
Yeah.
You'd pick the client results every single time. And there's another concept with it, and that's just an example of like a really good client. Like, I just want the results. I don't care what it takes. Like, I want the results. The reason why you would even speak to them in the first place, or they would even arise into a conversation with you in the first place, is because they are aware of all the people that you are already working with. That would be the only situation that they...
That literally happened to us recently. We had a guy hop on the phone, and, you know, it was somebody that we wanted to work with, and, you know, we said that we gave him a guarantee for his case. Like, we were flexible. It's like, yo, like, you know, we know you've been frustrated with this. Like, we'll give you a guarantee. He's like, dude, like, I know you guys are killers. Like, I don't want a guarantee. I just want to get, like, the results. Like, I've worked with 2 short form guys already. Like, this is not, like, really exactly what I've envisioned. Like, I just want results for the right time. Mm-hmm. And, like, that social proof and the testimonials, they shine through, right? Because just no one else had that at the time. And so I think that's really important, too, is, like, you know, you give a guarantee, but you also have, like, you know, it's like they have to work together. Mm-hmm. Speaking of working together, you know, we talk about this all the time, like, having that personal brand all as well is, like, really important, and being relevant for people. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you, like, it's like your profile, your landing page, all this stuff does the selling, right? It's not the Hinge line that works, it's your profile. And maybe the line is good and it helps or assists or whatever, but it's like fundamentally at its core, it's people are checking out your YouTube channel. They're checking out your Instagram. They're checking your like whatever you're on, your Twitter, of course. And it's like that's what's actually doing the selling. It's like, oh, this guy actually knows what he's talking about, cold DM scripts. He also has this cool website called Client Ascension. Like, maybe I'll go check it out. Like imagine trying to like pitch Client Ascension like door to door to somebody that doesn't know you.
Yeah, but just like zero social following. Yeah, it wouldn't work. There's no shot, and this is what's really interesting with a lot of people. I see this sometimes. It's like really strange to me. Dudes will have like 0 followers on any social media, and they're like, "Hey, I'm thinking about making a coaching program." I'm like, who the fuck are you gonna sell a coaching program to? Or it's like they just like randomly want to make some coaching offer, and like they haven't even done the thing. I'm like, who the fuck do you think is gonna buy that? Like, actually, who do you think is gonna buy that? Like, clearly nobody. Like, did you even think that through at all? Like, in any capacity? It's like no one's gonna buy it. So what people do is they hear of like client acquisition mechanisms. Like, there's just mechanisms. So it's like, oh, short form content, long form YouTube, tweeting, posting on LinkedIn, cold email, cold calling, Google ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, Instagram ads. There's all these mechanisms. And everybody thinks that they're all separate. They think, oh, the YouTube ads are working so well. Like, oh, the LinkedIn ads or the LinkedIn's working really well, and like Twitter not so much, or this. It's like, bro, they all feed into each other. They're not these separated, independent things. It's all the same, right? So it's like if you have take 2 people, they're sending cold emails, same exact offer, same exact cold email script, same exact follow-ups, same exact deliverability, same exact industry, company size, they're pitching, everything's exactly the same. You have one guy who has no website, no social media, nothing. You have another guy, he has a website, he has a video sales letter on the website, he has a bunch of results on the thing, he has a YouTube with a bunch of videos on it. Maybe it even has 50 subscribers. But the sheer matter of the fact is they put in the bare minimum of effort to put stuff on the internet, like to display his competence somewhere. He has that.
Yeah.
And he tweets on Twitter. And then he takes the same exact things he put on Twitter and he puts them on LinkedIn. And then he also does some short TikTok videos. They're not hyper edited at all. It's just a selfie. It's just like a quick thought. It's like explaining what he knows. It's just displaying his competence. So you got those two people. One guy has nothing. One guy has all that. The guy who has all of that isn't going to just do 10% better, 20% better, 30% better. He's going to get all of the results. The guy with none of that will get precisely zero. If there were this industry pool with, say, 100 people will eventually convert, the guy with nothing will get zero. Nothing. The guy with all of that will get all 100 clients. Thousands and thousands of orders of magnitude better.
Yep.
All cohesively played together. So someone says to me, they're like, bro, how are you growing client Ascension? Is it YouTube? Is it like what's happening? Is it the funnel? I'm like, no, bro, I'm fucking everywhere. Every single thing I do. There's nothing I'm not doing. That's why it works.
Yep.
There's like people, I just have a pool. There's probably like 500,000 people who like are in my funnel, maybe. Let's just say something like that. They know I exist. Probably like 500,000 people on earth know I exist. If they saw my face, they probably recognize me.
Okay.
All of you are in my funnel. If you know I exist, you're in my funnel. I'm trying to fucking sell you something. So, you might go on this app. 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 I don't care where you are. You're going to get a retargeting ad from me. You're going to see me organically posting on it. You're going to see my partners' ads. You're going to see my partners organically posting. You're going to see us everywhere. I'm not just sitting here. I just do Twitter. Like, oh, Twitter makes me all my money. Like, or cold email makes me all the money. It's like, no, I do precisely everything. That's the only reason why it works.
Yeah, and that's huge too because it's like always about the tactics or the hacks. It's like the human types, bro. It's just like, yeah, like, bro, like let me just use this like Twitter template and that's just gonna like, no, like you have to be everywhere. Like I remember there was a joke about like that 1 week where you're just like running the ads like crazy on Twitter. You could not escape that one ad. Yep. It was everywhere. Hey, we help B2B companies scale. And all this other stuff, like you couldn't escape it. It was like the joke of the week, and that in it of itself was marketing.
Yes.
Right. People talking
Correct.
about like, bro,
yeah.
like I can't escape you.
Yeah.
It's like that's the point. I'm trying to sell you something, motherfucker.
Yeah. So I look at my like if I'm running retargeting ads anywhere, I want like people in my funnel to see me, Andre, or Christian, or get emails from me or something, like people on my email list or see tweets. I want you to see me like legitimately 30 times a week. Because what's going to happen is you might not be ready for client Ascension. It might not be the correct time for you to buy this. You are in what is called a conversion window. And everybody's conversion windows just begin to elapse. Something happens in their business where it's like, you know what? I'm ready to start doing cold email with client Ascension and growing my business and getting clients. Or you don't even have to relegate it. That's clients. I'm just ready to grow it right now. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go into the bank of your mind and you're going to search what's the best gateway to make me do this right now. Who is the person who can help me do this as quickly as possible right now? And what happens is these people go into a buying window that's like 30 minutes long. And it is just one like segment of like 30 minutes. So I'm buying right now. I'm solving this issue right now. I'm done dealing with this.
Yep.
I'm changing the situation right now. And now what's going to happen is the first person they think of is the person who they saw the most. Who had the most frequency? It was me. I sent the most emails. I made the most ads. You saw me the most. I posted the most. I'm the default option in your mind. I am so good at taking people in the funnel and eventually converting them. There's an extremely high probability if you run a marketing agency or a B2B company and you consume my content in any fashion, you will probably buy something from me just solely because of the frequency. Whenever you think of it, you go into that 30-minute period, it's like, I'm doing it. I'm the first one you thought of. That's the only reason why.
That's huge. That is a really good point. And I've noticed that as well, especially with you. You told me this too. with the following, especially with like kind of the service I offer, where a lot of times it's like really hard to attribute revenue specifically towards it, right? Because it's very top of funnel. You have to keep following up. You have to just be there. Like, dude, like it's like that SpongeBob meme of him popping out of the mailbox. You have to be in people's faces, bro. That's happened to me even recently too. I followed up with someone from like a few months ago, and it's like, yeah, bro, like he's literally said, great follow up. Like, let's do it. Like, let's hop on a call. Like these people, like they're watching you. They're watching you.
They're watching.
They're lurking. They're liking your shit. They're looking at it, and it's like,
yeah, they might not even be
huge.
liking it.
Yeah,
they might not.
That's
They just look at it.
They're just looking at it,
read
bro.
it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you have no idea.
And like that alone is like, dude, it's like, why would you not like, even like the money Twitter memes I posted, like that's been enough to stay relevant in people. And it's like, that wasn't even like really, that was just like me fucking around and trying to like have a good time. But even that was like enough to people like, oh, this is the guy that they associate that with like these the Friday edits with Presley.
Yep.
It's the association of said thing with said person. And you're the guy for like, when I joined Client Ascension, I'm like, okay, like I need help scaling. Like, oh, like I've literally only seen you. Especially when you're first exposed to the market. I've only seen you. I don't even know who else does this. I haven't been around for long enough. I've just seen your shit a million times. I'm like, who else would I go to? Cool, it sounds good. All right, cool. Like you guarantee 10,000. Perfect. Let's Jay, like sign me the thing. Like let's get rolling. Like literally that's how it went down. I was like, I can't think of anyone else.
So you already decided that you like this is how most like things lapse. So like what should be happening is like a fair bit of your calls like get on. They're like already sold.
Yeah.
Like they just want some questions answered, or like they just want to like but pretty much they should all like be sold already. But if you have sufficient amount of results, so this is like really important. Like somebody books a call or something, like, bro, you better send them an email showing them your results. Like a lot of people that just go through and they'll book a call and go here. It's like no, bro, you gotta let them know who you are. Like here's what I can do. Like, you need to know what I'm capable of. Like, you need to display it. It's like this, I work with this guy, right? This guy is doing this much, this guy's doing this much, this guy's doing this much, right? You got to, like, show people. Like I was saying before, if you don't document what you're capable of, the results you've driven, they might as well not exist. Like, they actually don't exist if you don't post them.
Yeah. Also, with that being said, too, like, it just doesn't make sense to me when people like come into this stuff and they're like, yeah, bro, like, dude, email marketing sounds cool, bro, but like Klaviyo flow is like, that sounds hard. It's like, my guy, you haven't even read like a book. Like you said it best. And this is my favorite thing. Like, my guy, pay your groceries. You're poor. You're poor. You like buy yourself a protein bar. And that's huge because I think like, and you probably see this with Client Ascension as well, like people just trying to skip steps and they're thinking 10 steps in advance.
Yeah.
They want it all figured out right away. Bro, how am I going to scale my agency from 100? Like, dude, what 100K? Like, where are you getting? You're pulling these numbers out there. Bro, is this scalable? Like, how am I going to scale this from 50K? Like, dude, like you don't even have a client.
Dude, you'd be like 8K a month or like, all right, well, like I'm going to get to 100K a month, so I'm going to do this and this and this and this. I'm like, bro, just start the cold email campaign. Like, start there. Like, just do that. And, like, this happens all the time. It's like, I'll get a dude to be like, hey, I've been really thinking about my offer, and, like, I want to get on a one-on-one over here. And then, like, I get, like, they've been in Client Ascension for, like, I don't know, like, a couple weeks or, like, a month. And they're like, so I'm thinking about changing my offer to this. I'm like, bro, you haven't even sent cold emails with the first offer. Like, why are you changing your offer? Yeah. It's like, well, I see these guys over here, they're at 300K a month. I'm like, that's not you. Like, just send emails. Like, you just made this offer up. Like, you haven't even spoken to anyone. Like, you don't know what is going to sell. And you're sitting here planning all this time. And it's like, it's not even like dudes will sit here and it's like, they like ponder and think it's working. Like, they're like pondering, and they think that's work. Like, yeah, bro, I've been working all this week on like building this new offer. I'm like, what do you mean building this new offer? You were like thinking about something. You weren't building anything. If you're building something, you would have connected your domains to Maility, the free cold email sendings offer we got. You would have copied and pasted the script that we just wrote for you on a one-on-one. You would have opened up your email to the Excel file of the 3,000 leads that we just manually built for you. You would have downloaded that, put that into a campaign on Melody. You would have copy and pasted the things, and you would activate the cold email campaign, simply sending precisely what we have wrote for you with 0 edits to precisely the exact lead list we gave to you with nothing removed, and you would have sat there and just watched the calls come. Mm-hmm. That's what you would have done. And it would have taken you a grand total of 22 minutes. So, but what you have decided to do is ponder for 3 weeks and ignore the 17 messages that your customer success manager has sent you, pestering you to just turn the campaign on. You were working. No, you weren't. And this is the problem with guys. They think they're working. It's like, you're not working. You're pondering. You're not doing anything. Like, you're not working unless there is a product or something that has been animated into the world. Like, something happened.
Yeah.
Like, you thought about a new offer using 0 evidence from the marketing. It's like, bro, I told you what to make your offer. We told you what to write. We gave you the leads. We gave you the software. Just click the button. Mm-hmm. Just go.
Blows my mind. And on that topic too, like, it's just these fucking Huberman types, bro. It's just like, literally, it's just, I think how I look at it too, and a really good analogy to what you're saying, like, dude, you can simplify it as much as you want, and some people really need it spelled out. So here's a great example, right? You're in the playground in 3rd grade, okay? You have a binder of Pokemon cards that you have, okay? And there's going to be certain times where maybe a new deck gets released, right? There's a new, like, series or whatever. There's a new, like, there's, like, different, like, I don't even know, not genres. It's like, there's, like, packs and generations, right? There's, like, a new one. There's a new shiny one that comes out, right? And so maybe what you have isn't as valuable anymore because there's this new thing, right? There's a new pack with this new Pokemon, this new edition that's popular, okay? The only way to know if anyone wants to trade with you is to actually ask, hey, do you want this card? What can I get for this? If you're not asking, you're just sitting there in the binder, you're not talking to other kids about your cards, of course you're not going to make trades. You're sitting there twiddling your thumbs, looking at your card thinking, does anyone want this? Bro, there's kids all over the playground that would want that card. It's the new thing. And you're not talking to anyone. You're not asking. You're not communicating with anyone. You just have to ask more people if they want your card. And if they don't, go buy the new pack at Target and try to pull the one that people want. What's one thing you would tell people about if they need to stop being poor, aside from joining Client Ascension? I think now more than ever, like, just send more stuff. Like, give me something that's, like, really specific right now that's bothering you that you're seeing, like, a lot of people.
Yeah. So, like, really, like a beginner, like, assume it's like a beginner. It's like, dude, pick some skill and actually try to make a concerted effort to, like, get good at the thing. Like, this is not gonna work unless you are good at the thing, and that's not like a negotiable. Like, there's no situation where you aren't good at the thing and you make a lot of money. So, like, that is something you have to do, right? So it's like, just put all of your effort into getting good at the thing. It's never going to happen. You're not going to make money if you're not good at it. So that's really the only thing you have to focus on. And then when you're good at the thing, you can get results. And when you get results, you get testimonials and case studies. And when you get testimonials and case studies, you get more customers. And you need to do this for, like, a year. It's like, that's just what it takes.
Plug all your stuff for the people. Client Ascension, literally just plug everything.
YouTube, Daniel Fazio. And my product, clientascension.com. Twitter's Cold Email Wizard. That's it.
Excellent. We're good.
Bet.